Hello everyone, this is Divesh Goyal, a practicing company secretary from Delhi. I welcome all of you on my YouTube channel for the purpose of the discussion on the different topic on the corporate law. So today we have choose a very important topic on which we are receiving the queries from the professional on the regular basis because this is one of the most important topic on the Companies Act, that is section 185. We have seen that people are getting so much queries, so much issues under section 185. That's why we thought today to take up this specific section for the purpose of the webinar. That is loan to director or the entities in which director are interested. As we know, since the day we have entered into Companies Act 2013, this is one of the very important section. I must say that as per my I can say as per my experience, I have taken almost 500 seminar throughout the country. I have taken almost 500 webinar throughout the country. I have always received the question on this section 185, and the question are very simple: whether we can give loan to the director or not, whether we can give loan to a LLP in which director are interested, whether we can give loan to a company in which director are interested, etc., etc., etc. Or sometimes whether we can give a guarantee to a bank on behalf of a director when director is taking a loan from the bank. So these type of many questions we have received from the professional fraternity as well as the corporates on section 185. That's why we must say 185 is a very important section under Companies Act 2013 because it is relating to the loan, or whenever we are talking about the loan, a section is always keeps an importance in the eye of the law. So section 185, what is the heading of section 185? That is loan to director. And this section, this particular section implemented on the 12th September 2013, because what we knew some section of the Companies Act 2013, even though act came on the 1st April 2014, but some section implemented on the 12th September 2013. So this is one of that section. And one very important point about this section, which is mentioned here as one, this section is completely substituted by the Companies Amendment Act 2017 on 7th May 2018. So this is very important point. If you will read the section 185 as on 1st April 2014 and as on today, this is totally different, because on the 1st April 2014 it was something different, but by the Companies Amendment Act 2017, this section has completely been amended by the government. So this is one of the section which is completely substituted, not a single mean. Complete section has been substituted by the Companies Amendment Act 2017. So today, whatever section we are going to discuss, we will discuss the section to introduced by the Companies Amendment Act 2017, because from 7th May 2018, this section is into effect. All section is not into effect from the 7th May 2017. So one thing, as I always say in my all webinar, as whoever is live attending this webinar, please mention your queries in the chat box during the webinar. If you are having any query, just mention the chat box. We will try to take up your query whether throughout the webinar or whether at the end of the webinar, but we will try to help you in your queries. So please ask your queries. And one more thing, I should not say this time, but I'm saying this: please subscribe the channel so that whenever there is any webinar, whenever I will upload a new video, you will get a notification of that, so you will not miss any knowledgeable video which are helpful for our professional knowledge. So now let's start section 185. In a simple mean, if I will say, whenever a company have to give a loan to someone, have to give a guarantee to someone, and have to invest anywhere, they have to go through some process under company law, or that process start with section 185. There are two sections, section 185 and section 186. Many times we have seen people are getting confused between both the section. But by these webinars, our motto is to clear all such those confusions and the issues. See, whenever you have to give a loan to anyone, you have to give a security or guarantee to anyone, then both the sections simultaneously will work, 185 as well as 186. 185 cannot work independently without 186. Why? Why 185 cannot work without 186? Because 185 tell us to whom we can give loan, to whom we can give guarantee, where we can invest or we can give the security, and 186 tell us the process for the same. अगर मैं जनरल लैंग्वेज में बोलूं, सेक्शन 185 तो हमें बताता है हम किसको लोन दे सकते हैं, किसको गारंटी दे सकते हैं और किसके कहां पे सिक्योरिटी दे सकते हैं, और 186 बताता है उस लोन गारंटी सिक्योरिटी के लिए मुझे कंपनी लॉ का प्रोसेस क्या फॉलो करना पड़ेगा, मुझे उसके लिए कंप्लायंसेस क्या करने पड़ेंगे, वो जो मुझे नॉलेज देता है वो 186 देता है. सो ये एक डिफरेंस है सेक्शन 185 और सेक्शन 186 में. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर हम कोई ऐसे ट्रांजैक्शन की बात करते हैं कि हम एक लोन देना चाहते हैं बट सेक्शन 185 अलाउ ही नहीं करता आपको वो लोन देने के लिए, तो आप सेक्शन 186 तक तो पहुंचोगे भी नहीं, बिकॉज जब तक आप 186 को क्रॉस नहीं 185 को क्रॉस नहीं करोगे 186 में एंटर ही नहीं हो सकते. सो जब भी आप किसी को लोन गारंटी इन्वेस्टमेंट सिक्योरिटी की बात करते हो तो सबसे पहले आपको 185 गो थ्रू करना पड़ता है. अगर 185 से आपको क्लियरेंस मिल जाती है, मैं जनरली बोलता हूं क्लियर सर्टिफिकेट 185 से मिल जाता है, तभी आप 186 पे एंटर करोगे, देन यू विल एंटर ऑन 186 एंड देन यू विल गो फॉर द further process. But if 185 restrict you, once you are restricted, you cannot do any loan guarantee investment security under 186. So that's why I said ki 185 and 186 work simultaneously. 185 you cannot go 186 without 185 and you cannot use 185 without 186. So both the section you have to use the simultaneously. This was the first point or before starting discussion on this. Now let's start on the 185 what it is saying. So I'm not going to discuss from the section. Even I have opened the section also with me so that any query question is there. But I have prepared a detailed article on the section 185. So I will discuss you with this article form. This is article number 569. So after this webinar, anyone want the copy of this article, I will share the same with you. You can message me on the same. तो 185 will discuss about the loan guarantee and security. सबसे पहले we will go on the very important point. 185. There are the three subsections under section 185. Subsection 1, subsection 2, and subsection 3. There are the three subsections which are mentioned under section 185, which are the important subsections. Even though there is a subsection 4 is also there, but we have to discuss about three subsection if we have to analyze any transaction. What subsection 1 is saying? Until unless you will not identify 1, 2 or 3, you will not able to get the clarity. So let me discuss subsection 1. Thus, this subsection 1 is state about restricted entities. To give loan, provide security guarantee under Companies Act is restricted. You can see here, no company, it is for every company, shall directly or indirectly advance any loan, including any represented by the book debt, give guarantee, provide security in connection with any loan taken by director of the company or director of the holding company or any partner or relative of such director. Any firm in which such director or relative is partner. These two are the restricted under section 185 subsection 1. सो इसको मैंने और बाइफिगरेट किया अपने आर्टिकल में. नो कंपनी डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली एडवांस एनी लोन गारंटी और सिक्योरिटी टू हुम. नंबर 1, एनी डायरेक्टर ऑफ द कंपनी. नंबर 2, any director of the company which is its holding company, means the director of the holding company. Any partner of director of the lender company, any partner of director, any relative of director of the lender company, any firm in which director of the lender company is director, any firm in which relative of the director of the lender company is director. If you will read this section, subsection 1, this subsection 1 is restricting two type of entities. Number 1, it is restricting to the director. Number 2, it is restricting to the firm. Subsection 1 is not restricting to any company or body corporates. So whenever we discuss about subsection 1, companies means if company A want to give loan to the company B, then there is no restriction under subsection 1. If company A want to give loan to the LLP, that is a body corporate, that is not restricted under subsection 1. Subsection 1 is saying you cannot give loan guarantee investment to your director of your holding company, any partner of your director, any relative of your director, any firm in which director is partner, any firm in which relative of director is partner. So these are the 6 entities which are restricted here, and these are the specifically restricted. There is no way out under subsection 1 to give loan to these entities. So if you have to give loan to your director, you are not allowed. If you have give loan to your direct firm or रिलेटिव ऑफ द डायरेक्टर यू आर नॉट अलाउड. सो जब भी आप किसी कंपनी के डायरेक्टर को लोन देना है या आपको कंपनी के डायरेक्टर के फर्म को लोन देना है, कंपनी के डायरेक्टर को रिलेटिव को लोन देना है, दैट इज नॉट अलाउड अंडर कंपनीज एक्ट सेक्शन 185 सबसेक्शन 1. दैट इज रिस्ट्रिक्टेड. नाउ द क्वेश्चन अराइज देन व्हाट आर द वे आउट विद अस, हाउ वी कैन मूव इट एज अ कंपनी वी वांट टू गिव द लोन, हाउ वी कैन डू इट. सो I will say there is only one way out. If a company want to give loan to its director or any firm in which director is partner or any relative of director, that only one way out is the exemption notification under Companies Act 2013. There is a one exemption notification came on the 5th June 2015. In one webinar earlier also we have discussed about this notification because this notification covers so many sections. There is a one exemption notification on 5th June 2015. As per this notification, there is one exemption. Section 185 shall not apply to a private company. Number one, this exemption is only for a private company. This is not for a public company. If a public company want to give loan to its director, relatives, or any firm in which director or relative is partner, then such public company cannot give the same. And now you will ask me, then what are the way outs? Practically speaking, there are no way out. पब्लिक कंपनी अपने किसी डायरेक्टर को, डायरेक्टर के रिलेटिव को, किसी फर्म जिसमें डायरेक्टर पार्टनर है या फर्म जिसमें डायरेक्टर का रिलेटिव पार्टनर है, उसको लोन नहीं दे सकती, गारंटी नहीं दे सकती और उसमें कोई इनसिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड नहीं कर सकती. दिस इज टोटली एंड टोटली रिस्ट्रिक्टेड अंडर कंपनीज एक्ट 2013. बट to give some relaxation to the private limited companies, government have issued this exemption notification on the 5th June 2015. As per this notification, section 185 will not apply to a private company if in whose share capital no other body corporate has invested money. अब जो lender body corporate है, lender company is there. In that lender company, there is no body corporate has invested the money. Means company A want to give loan to its director, relative, or whatever restricted under subsection 1. Then there is an exemption, but in the shareholding of the company A, there should not be any body corporate like company or LLPs or etc. Second condition, borrowing of such company, lender company. Here we are talking about only lender company. Borrowing of such company from banks, financial institution, and body corporate is less than twice of paid up share capital or 50 crore, whichever is lower. Third, such company has no default in repayment of such borrowing subsisting at the time of making transaction. So there are the three conditions. Number one, there is no body corporate shareholder. Number two, existing loan of the lender company from bank, financial institution, and body corporate not more than twice of paid up capital, 50 crore, whichever is less. And third, lender company has not made any default in repayment of any borrowing. If your company has fulfilled all these three conditions, then only we can say section 185 will not applicable on your private limited company. But if any of such condition is not fulfilled by your company, then section 185 subsection 1 will be applicable on your company. So only one chance is there where a private company can give loan to director, guarantee to director, or security to director when private company fall under in these three we can say exemption notification. If private company is not falling under this exemption notification, private companies are also restricted to give loan to director, the relative of the director, firm or relative of the firm of the director. And practically, generally we have seen whenever there is any restriction under law, along with that restriction, government gives some way outs, like you have to take the approval of the ROC, you have to take the approval of the RD, you have to take the approval of the MCA. But this section, section 185 subsection 1, there is no such type of procedure has provided. Means Once you are restricted under section 185 subsection 1, then you are totally restricted. You will not having any process to get the approval from any department. Even the ROC, ERD, MC, NCLT don't have any power to allow you to give loan to your director, give guarantee of security to your director. So only one way out. That one way out is exemption notification to private limited companies. And many person has asked me many times whether these exemption notification are still available after 2017 Amendment Act. Then I will say yes. Until unless government does not pass any notification for removal of that, these exemptions are available. So now crux is that this subsection 1 is applicable on the public companies as well as private companies. Whether a small companies, OPC, startup, this is applicable on everyone. And guarantee and security, we have said we cannot give under this section. And this subsection restrict only individual and firms. No companies and body corporates are covered under this subsection. So hope we are clear with subsection 1. Still anyone have any doubt with subsection 1, please mention in the chat box. Because this section, we have many seminar I have seen ki people are afraid from this section, but we should not afraid from this section. This section is very simple section. It just we have to read it in a sequence. It just we have to read it in a part and parcel. Like I have read part 1, that is subsection 1. Now subsection 2 is totally different from the subsection 1. Let's see what is subsection 2. Now subsection 2 said following loan can be given by company to any person whom director are interested after fulfilling the condition mentioned below. Subsection 2 is saying you can give loan to give loan to any person whom director are interested after fulfilling the conditions. First, let's see who is this any person. Any person here means any private company of which any such director is director. I just give example. There is a company A. There are two directors, Divesh and Gurminder. Then there is a company B. Divesh is the common director in company B also. But as per this subsection, you are falling under any person, a private company in which any director is director or member. Whether as a director of company A, I may be director or I may be shareholder of company B. I can give loan, company A give loan after fulfilling these three conditions. I will read the conditions separately. This is number 1. One we have included here, private companies in which common director or member. Number 2, body corporate in which 25% or more voting power rests with one or more such director. Here we have include only private company. Here we have include body corporate, means LLPs are also covered. Any private company or any body corporate where 25% or more voting power if are rested with one or more the director of the lender company, that is also covered here. Third, any body corporate who is accustomed to act according to the director of the lending company. All these three type of entities are covered under subsection 2. A private company in which our director is director or member. A body corporate whose 25% of voting power is with our director. A body corporate whose board of director is accustomed to act according to our director. These three conditions, these three entities can get a loan, guarantee, investment if three conditions are fulfilled by the lender company. Condition number 1, special resolution. Lender company will pass a special resolution in a general meeting to give loan, guarantee or security to any of these entity. Number 2, the lender company will mention this condition that the borrower company, borrower body corporate shall utilize such money only for the principal business activity. So this is the most important point. If a private company want to give loan to a private company or body corporate where the directors are common or directors are member, and those companies are falling under these three situations, then you are allowed to give, but only after fulfilling these two conditions. Number 1, lender company will pass a special resolution, and you know whenever you pass a special resolution under Companies Act, you have to file the MTT 14 also. Number 2, the lender company will put a condition that the borrower shall use this money only for the business purpose. बिजनेस पर्पस के अलावा किसी और रीजन से बोरोवर कंपनी इस मनी को यूज नहीं करेगी. अगर ये दो कंडीशन फुलफिल कर लेते हैं, then you are allowed to give loan to a company or body corporates. One more thing, even after this subsection 2, subsection 2 is not saying to give loan to director or firm. Director or firms are still under subsection 1. You cannot take them into subsection 2. That's why I said in this section we have to divide into part and parcel. Subsection 1 is the one part which is talking about complete restrictions, no solution. Only solution to private company, that is exemption notification. Subsection 2 is partial restriction, partial allow, subject to certain condition. Now let's move to the subsection 3. So let's conclude the subsection 2. Subsection 2 only two things is saying, if the borrower is a private limited company having common director or member, then by using this subsection you can give the loan. If body corporate include LLPs where 25% of the more voting power holding by one director or custom to it, then it is allowed. Subsection 3. Subsection 3 covers Subsection 3 first say restriction of subsection 1 and 2 shall not be applicable on following transaction. Number 1. Subsection 3 is totally different for 1 or 2. They have simply mentioned in the starting whatever restriction are mentioned under subsection 1, whatever restriction mentioned under subsection 2 will not applicable on a subsection 3. So subsection 3 is a independent subsection from 1 or 2. So let it read a independent. Subsection 3 clause A is saying loan to managing director or whole-time director. Now let me recall subsection 1. Subsection 1 was restricting to give loan to the director. Now there can be many type of director: executive director, non-executive director, managing director, whole-time director, independent director, non-executive director, other type of director, additional director. So here they said out of all type of director, they pick two category: managing director and whole-time director. So there are many type of director, but out of those, this subsection has picked only two. Please focus, only two type of director has picked here: managing director and whole-time director. Now they say there are two ways to give loan to the managing director and whole-time director only. Number 1, loan can be given to managing and whole-time director as a part of condition of their service. Condition should be available for all type of employee. See, managing director, whole-time director always considered as an employee of the company. And if company having a condition with the service for all the employee, that company can give loan to them, same will be applicable on the MD and WTD. Loan can be given to managing director and whole-time director pursuant to any scheme. Scheme should be approved by the shareholder passing a resolution. If company have passed a scheme to give loan to their employee, then according to that scheme also private companies can give loan to their MD and director. Now one thing, subsection 3 is an independent subsection. It is not following any restriction of subsection 1 and 2. Number 2, subsection 3 only pick up two type of director, MD and WTD, not the other type of director. Except an MD and WTD, other director are still restricted to get loan under section 185. And there is a condition when MD and WTD can accept the loan only in one situation, when MD or WTD, there is a scheme under the company to give loan to employee, or whether there is a terms in the service to give loan to employee, then only MD and WTD can receive the loan from the company. Loan, guarantee, investment, security, whatever. So this is the subsection 3 part 1. Subsection 3 have other part also. Subsection 3 part 2, ordinary course of business. If a company is the ordinary course of business like a NBFC, नॉन बैंकिंग फाइनेंशियल कंपनी, एनबीएफसी कंपनी का तो काम ही लोन देना होता है, गारंटी देना होता है, सिक्योरिटीज देना होता है. तो एनबीएफसी कंपनीज हो गई, हाउसिंग फाइनेंस कंपनीज हो गई. सो इस टाइप की कंपनीज अगर आगे लोन दे रही है तो उनके ऊपर सेक्शन 185 की रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है. वो किसी को भी दे सकती है, डायरेक्टर को दे सकती है, डायरेक्टर के रिलेटिव को भी दे सकती है, डायरेक्टर की फर्म को भी दे सकती है. ओनली वन थिंग, जो प्रोसेस, जो इंटरेस्ट रेट, जो टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन वो सभी के लिए यूज कर रही है, वो इनके लिए भी करेगी. सबसेक्शन 3 का पार्ट 3, होली ऑन सब्सिडरी. अगर एक कंपनी, any loan made by holding company to its wholly owned subsidiary company, or any guarantee or security provided by holding company to wholly owned subsidiary company, that is also allowed. एक holding company can give loan, guarantee, security to its wholly owned subsidiary company, that is allowed under 185. Part 4 and last part of subsection 3. any guarantee given or security provided by the holding company in respect of loan made by the bank or financial institution to subsidiary. There is a difference. When we talk about the wholly owned subsidiary, it's said that a holding company can give loan, guarantee or security to wholly owned subsidiary. But when we talk about the subsidiary, it's said holding company can give guarantee or security to the subsidiary but cannot give loan to the subsidiary. So we have to see this. If holding company giving guarantee or security to the subsidiary, then 185 is not applicable. So this is about the 185. 185, why I said it is a very simple section, because 185 is not giving you any restriction. It is just giving you a solution of your problem. If I will just first can say, let me just talk about the crux of this section now. Number one, list of restricted person. Loan, guarantee or security are not allowed to director of the company, director of the company of the holding company, partner of the director of relative of the director, any firm in which director is director, any firm in which relative of the director is direct partner. Not allowed if you fail to pass the special resolution or put the condition, any private company, body corporate 25% custom to act. Permissible entities कौन सी है? Loan, guarantee, security is allowed by a company to another company, another private company in which such director is director or member. Body corporate in which 25% of voting power is with my director. Body corporate whose board is accustomed to act according to my board of directors. But loan to these three entities can be given only after fulfilling two conditions. Condition one, passing a special resolution. Condition two, mention a condition that borrower will use only for the business purpose. Loan guarantee security allowed without 185, 182 restriction to managing director, whole-time director, ordinary course of business, to wholly owned subsidiary and to subsidiary company. So these are the certain points which I want to talk with all of you under section 185. Because since last 10 years, from the date when this Companies Act came into effect, every time I am receiving the question from the professional from the section 185. So today I try to cover section 185 in a simple manner. I have divided 185 into three parts: part 1, part 2 and part 3. And I try to explain each part in detail with the, we can say, exemptions on those parts. So now if anyone have any question under 185, you can ask me right now. Anyone came with any question on the 185 after this webinar also, you can anytime message me, WhatsApp me, comment on my videos. I will try to answer your queries on that. But after today, I will say one thing. Please don't feel that 185 is a very big section. 185 is very complicated section. It is very simple section. It just you have to read in a part and parcel. If you will read 185 in the part and parcel, you will feel that 185 is a very simple and very easy section. But once you will read 185 is all together, I must say everything will be messed there. So next time, whenever you have to take any opinion, you have to prepare any opinion, you have to make any decision making on 185, read it in a part and parcel. Further, if you get any difficulty to convert it into part or divide into part, I will share this article. You can take the copy of this article from me, or it is also published on my website also, www.csdiveshgoyal.in. So whenever you get any difficulty, you can refer this video. I will upload the recording of this video on my YouTube channel. You can refer this article. So hope after all this discussion of last half an hour, as I can see 70-80 people who are attending this webinar, hope your all queries of 185 is sorted now. If you still have any query on 185, please feel free to ask the question anytime. And if you feel this webinar is useful, please share the link with your friends so that everyone can take the benefit of this section.